I was like, yo, like this is crazy, because I just had this thought yesterday. 12 hours later, I was notified about it, although I didn't heed it at that time. Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Brianna, and I'm an entrepreneur who is using my journey to help you on your journey. Today, I'm going to give an update on my business and the work and projects that I'm doing. Why do you care? Maybe because you are interested in changing your life or starting a business and you would like to see the process, or maybe you want to be inspired. Maybe you just want to be nosy and steal my ideas. Whatever it is, you have come to the right place. So I'm also going to give you a few law of attraction stories. Not that I'll talk more about how I view the law of attraction in the future. But anyway, if at the end of this video you feel like you like my content, you want to support me, hit the like button, please. And subscribe to join in and watch me transform this business. I can guarantee you it's going to look completely different in 6 months. Here we go. Okay, so today is like day 299. I quit my job in July 2018, and I thought that within a month I would be making money as a blogger, but that was not the case. I've learned so much about blogging, about entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is its own thing. It's got its own challenges, and then there's so much more to blogging than just writing good content and putting it out there. I thought my biggest issue was going to be consistency. I felt like it was really hard to write the content that I had already been writing casually since 2015. But what I've learned is, I was right. That wasn't the right niche, but only now when I'm no longer able to write about being a military spouse, because I'm not a military spouse anymore. Only until now have I realized I was focusing too much on myself to really be able to produce the kind of content you need to be able to produce to like monetize a blog. So that also coincides with this place I'm at in my entrepreneurship journey, where it's not just about me. And my channel obviously is about me because it's my channel, but initially I didn't really have anything to offer. I was just showing where I was and what my thoughts were, because maybe other entrepreneurs were having the same thoughts. But now I'm thinking more about how can I actually help people change their lives? How can I actually help people get from where I was in my first video? I'm always feeling unsure about what I can accomplish, to right now where I have no doubt. I know exactly what I'm going to do and how I'm going to make some money. So to get more into that, I will talk about my current endeavors. I am still a Mary Kay consultant. I still enjoy it, although sometimes I feel like I should quit because I don't have the energy to do what I need to do to overcome myself in that area. So I feel like I've really gotten a hold of my mind when it comes to my overall business plan. But with Mary Kay, I think I haven't done the same things that I've done in the big scheme of things. I became a Mary Kay consultant because I wanted sales experience. I wanted business experience. I wanted to be able to make some money in the process to kind of like fund the things that I have to do. Like ideally, if I need I need to pay for my website this month. Ideally, my Mary Kay money would pay for that. But I haven't really been producing because I'm so focused on my blog and what's coming with that. And I have a child and we're in a new place, so I actually have like people to interact with. So I still want to do better in Mary Kay, but I just don't have the energy to, because I don't have the time to work on myself in order to do better. But what I am doing is trying to go to more Mary Kay meetings so that I can be around people who have the mindset I want to have and have the success I want to have. So I'm trying to make the effort to do that, but sometimes it's just really hard to spend so much time driving somewhere, doing something, coming back. I just don't really want to do it, and I'd like to quit, but I still really like my original idea of being a Mary Kay consultant, learning how to sell, kind of like developing that part of myself and the part of you probably that says, oh, I'm not a salesperson, I can't sell things, because as entrepreneurs we need to know how to sell. And I feel that to be successful, I need to be well developed in all areas. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later too. So that's Mary Kay. I think I probably made like $160 last month or something this month. And then the month before that, I made, I think 400, and I get half of that. So, it's a little bit, but in the second month I was doing Mary Kay, I made twice as much money as that. I'm in a different headspace, and I want to go back, but I also didn't have as much clarity about my overall vision as I do now. So that's Mary Kay. YouTube, I'm just trying to come on here and provide value. Like when I get dressed for the day, I try to come down here and record a video just so that I can provide value, like put something of worth out there. Only thing I'm really working on with YouTube is SEO, which I'm also working on with my blog and with my Instagram. I think I've definitely underestimated how important search engine optimization is, because a lot of the traffic that can come to a blog is organic, and I'm leaving all that on the table. So I had a meeting with my blog coach last month, and I wanted her to help me understand help me understand Google Analytics. And I saw that and I was like, my site is not doing well at all. Even though I think I'm a great writer, I think writing and communicating is my talent or my gift, my page performance was terrible. So I'm working on that specifically, and also working on it for YouTube. Definitely when I have better titles, I get more views, just like that. So after we got Mary Kay, YouTube, and the big project is my Bride on Base brand. So again, I was a military spouse, now I'm not. 2015, I started this blog, Bride on Base, and I really love that name. Shout out to Amber, who doesn't watch my channel because she's not an entrepreneur, but she helped me come up with the name. So in January, I didn't say this on the channel, but in January I watched this video interview. This person was selling eBooks, like that was part of his business. So I first heard about that on a video, I think his name was Jason Capital. And then in this one, this guy, I wish I could remember his name. Anyway, he was talking about eBooks too. And at that moment I was like, I can write an ebook about like things I would talk about in Bride on Base, like about being a military spouse. And I got so excited. And I wanted to say, like, when you have such a good idea, you just get so excited and you have to tell yourself, just wait, calm down. I didn't say that, but that's how I felt at the time. So now I've worked on 3 different books. I decided to start with what I thought was the easiest one first. I mean, I guess it is the easiest one. So I wrote most of it. And then when I got serious, I was really taking a look at it and realizing if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and it needs to be better. So I've rewritten it. But anyway, I had a meeting with the blog coach, and I just had 1 call left. It was 1 of 4. So I had the call with her, and I was telling her about all my plans for Bride on Base, Brianna Entrepreneur, my Mary Kay Beauty Facebook group, just wanting to get expert's opinion on those things. And she was like, okay, well, if you want to sell this ebook, then you need to do an affiliate program. Well, she just said I need to do an affiliate program. But to me, I was like, I can't have an affiliate program and then have a non-existent blog, because I was just about to walk away from Bride on Base, or just make it about me and the name not really mean anything. So, and from that first video I watched was Jason Capital, I knew that affiliate marketing, that creating an affiliate program as your ebook is the way to really get, really be successful. So I was overwhelmed after that call, and I was like, okay, I need to learn SEO. I thought about taking a course, but I just took a course on Skillshare. Then I thought I needed to figure out how to continue the blog, and it just came to me. I decided I wasn't gonna wear myself out trying to answer these questions. And it came to me, I will interview spouses about their experiences, write about that on the blog. So right now I'm working on the page. It's at like 19 pages right now. Working on the book. It's at 19 pages right now. And I'm writing blog posts. So because I've stepped so far back from the blog, it's easy for me to just write content. So I've written 3 blog posts. I want to have like 8 in the bag. I want to be like 4 weeks ahead before I launch, which hopefully is June 15th. And there's another piece to that, which I will share in my law of attraction story. But at this point, I am so confident in what I'm doing. It's like, I just know. I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I know that I'm going to make some money. I don't exactly know how I'm going to make all the money that I want to make, but I know it's going to work. So I think also being more knowledgeable at this point in the process, like I know what role SEO plays. I know what role Pinterest plays. I know what role Facebook plays. Knowing that helps me to feel more empowered. However, this feels like a lot of work. Like every day I have to be working on something. And when a day goes by that I'm not working on a book or a blog post or this other project, then it's like I'm up against the clock. It's not so much like, oh, I hope this happens. In my mind, it's gonna happen, and it's all dependent on how fast I get the work done. So it's like whack, 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 whack. Anyway, that's where I'm at, which is very different from December when I was like, oh, I don't know how to tell if it's right. That led me to the next question, which I actually talked to my mom about, like, how do I know if something's right? I know it's right. And I also feel that when I am coming from a place of allowing myself to be wrong, it doesn't matter so much to know if something's right. Like, I just have to move, get started, not get stuck in analysis paralysis, trying to think about why I should or shouldn't do something. I'm just doing it. And then it'll flesh out. So I made the decision to join Mary Kay. Now I'm like, is that a bad decision? Because I can't, it's not relevant right now. And it might be, it might be, but I don't think it is. The reasons I wanted to do it they still remain, but I don't think it is. But it might be. So I don't worry as much about if it's right. I'm just doing it, and then I'll find out if it's not right later. Okay, this is where my law of attraction stories come in. So law of attraction is when the belief that whatever you're thinking, or like what you're in alignment with, will come to you. So if I'm like super negative and just thinking about the worst things happening, then those things are probably gonna happen to me. I'm probably gonna lose my wallet, like that type of thing. So the practice is to control your mind in such a way that you attract the good things to you, or you're in alignment with what you want. And a lot of times that is something achieved through meditation. You can raise your vibrations through healthy eating, like getting rest. Like there are all these ways to raise your vibration. I feel that my vibration is high consistently because I have practiced like this belief in myself for 6 months, and now I like firmly believe in myself. And actually, I guess I first was introduced to law of attraction in April of last year. So it's been a year of just like this idea of believing that I can have what I want, and like acting as if it's already in the cards. So I want to stop and say, I think I believe in myself like 90 to 95%. Like that's a lot, because before it was probably 60-40, but now I almost 100% believe in myself. And I think the other part is just going to take more time to not be worried about failing. I'm even afraid to say this, but my goal is to make $75,000 by the end of the year. Now, at this point, profits are, maybe I shouldn't count profit or costs. I don't know, but at this point, including costs for Mary Kay, I bought the inventory, then sold it, but I've probably made like $1,200. So that's $73,800 between June and December. I don't know. I just have this belief that I'm going to do it. So I believe that. I still have a little bit of doubt, but either way, my plans are made as if that is definite. Like, I'm literally planning what's going to happen when I make the money. This is what I have gone through what I'm going to say to people in my next phase of business after that. I've said, like, I've thought about it. You know, like, I have it. It's there. Think about what I'm about my husband. Like, and I even was like, okay, so when I make $75,000, then I'll need to hire somebody. I'm there. I'm acting as if, because in my mind it's going to happen. Anyway, so the way I believe about law of attraction is, it's not so much just, want it, be in alignment. Like, I believe that, but I more so believe that if you make a decision in your mind and you really buy into it, then your actions will fall into place to make it happen. And I believe in the power of God. So I committed my plans to God a couple months ago. I was like, God, I'm trusting you to get these things done, not me. This law of attraction is kind of like you are helping yourself. And I guess that does work. Like, it is true, but I am a Christian and I'm just going to submit to God because he knows what's best for me. I don't just need a bunch of money. I need to become who I'm meant to become. So I just have like more facets to it. The power of the mind, the power of God, and then the law of attraction. I guess it's like a triad. Anyway, so this is where my law of attraction story starts. When I was, let me look at my notes. Okay, so in March, I was at my husband's grandma's house. I'm getting ready to go to bed, and I was listening to a podcast, an episode of The Passionate Few. The guy on there was talking about copywriting, and I've been hearing about copywriting for a long time, so I was like, I need to learn copywriting. The next day, I saw I had a new follower on Instagram, and it said Michael Leonard, copywriter. And I was like, I just thought that I should learn copywriting. So I messaged him, I DM'd him, and I just, said, this is so crazy. And he was like, I would love to have a coaching call with you. So we get on the coaching call a couple weeks later, and everything he said just felt like alignment. Like, it felt like he and I were in sync. And when I had just really been thinking a lot about the money I want to make, and he was like, you can easily do that with freelance writing. I've tried freelance writing before, didn't really want to do it, but he was like, open your mind to it. So that was cool. I didn't take a lot of time to work on that because I've definitely learned that I have to focus. I can't take on 5 things at once because I'm failing at everything. You're going to continue to fail at everything until you're good at one thing. So I kind of just moved on from that, but was still very grateful for our conversation. A couple weeks later, he emails me and he's like, I created this course. Do you want to take it for free and give me feedback? And again, I wasn't looking for that at that time, but the fact that I had this one thought, and the way, like, I didn't have to figure out, how am I gonna learn copywriting? Like, it was literally just sent to my inbox. This is how you're gonna learn copywriting. So that's story number 1. Number 2, I've got like 5, but number 2, we moved back here, went back to the same church that we used to go to, hadn't seen the pastor in a long time. He says, well, we should meet up for coffee, which my husband and I are very flattered and grateful for, because we've been to a lot of churches, and the churches we went to when we lived in North Carolina, can't even tell you those people's names. Or we can tell you probably can't tell you their names, and certainly never met them. So we felt good about that. Email back and forth, didn't get on a schedule for a month. So by this time I had that meeting with my blog coach, and I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. My plan was underway. And I was telling him about it because he was asking what we're doing, which is a question I kind of hate and like brace myself for. But I just told him what I was doing. And then he said, are you recording the interviews? I said, yes. And he said, you should make a podcast. And that was crazy because in like a few weeks before, I was writing a blog post and I was like, oh, it would be really helpful if this was in audio form. And then I was like, I guess that's a podcast. And I'm not going to try to learn how to do that. But if I am already recording the interview, there's not a whole lot extra to do. So that wasn't actually taking something new on. It's just kind of like repurposing something, a byproduct of the blog. I was very grateful for that. And my mind was kind of blown. And that's also the power of getting around people who are like-minded, right? So that's number 2. Number 3 is I was working out. This is like 3 weeks ago. It's a Friday. I'm listening to a podcast. Also, Michael Leonard, he has a very good podcast and YouTube channel called Inspire Your Success, and it's very inspiring. Very good interviews. And it's like he's not discovered yet, so it doesn't have a lot of views right now, but these are really good interviews. So I'm listening to this podcast and I'm like getting pumped and thinking about when I make the $75,000, I'm going to try to help other people get to where I am. And mind you, ultimately, I'd like to be a business coach. That's what I think right now. So I'm like, at that point, I'll have legitimacy and I can start to help people to get to where I'm at. Like that's a place that I can get started. And so I said, I'm going to start a mastermind. So after that, I was like looking up masterminds. I figured I should be in one in order to know how to run one. That's at 9:47 a.m. And I know that because I made a note in my phone. That night, I'm like doing this interview not on the phone, for my blog. So it's recorded. And I know I got a notification on my phone. I just glanced at it. It's an alert from a YouTube channel, The Passionate Few. And I didn't really pay attention to it. When I actually looked at the alert, I saw it was like Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. And I was just kind of like, I just heard podcasts with them on it. So I'm not really trying to rush to watch this video. But the next day, my husband's uncle was here and I had just done a course. I was learning how to podcast. So I was like looking on YouTube to figure out how to use Audacity software. And he was telling me about this podcast he listened to, talking about how knowledge-based business is important, like how we're learning differently now. And he mentioned Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. So I was like, I just got a notification about a video with them. So I watched the video. What is the video about? Well, they're selling this course to teach you how to run a mastermind. I was like, yo, this is crazy, because I just had this thought yesterday. 12 hours later, I was notified about it, although I didn't heed it at that time. So that weekend, I'm like, this is crazy. So I had watched the videos 2 hours long. I didn't watch all of it. I knew they were selling me something. I'm looking at the course, $2,000. I'm like, $2,000. So I talked to my mom about it, because I don't know. My mom doesn't know a lot about the stuff that I'm doing, but it's always good to just talk it out with her and hear what she has to say, even if she didn't know anything about it, because, thoughts are thoughts. So I just leave that alone, because it's $2,000. I already got all this other business debt from Mary Kay, buying my laptop, and other incidental expenses. So Sunday night, I sit down, I'm like, I'm having a hard time accomplishing my goals each week. So I would sit down to write out, kind of write through it. And I wrote down that I was like, why do I have a hard time? Why do I not get things done? And I realized it was this freelance book editing that I had started in August. And it's still not finished, although we've done it in 3 installments. So it's not just that I've taken 10 months. It's like he's taken 6 weeks to pay me before I can get started. And then we just have a really slow pace. But knowing that I have to do that creates stress anytime I'm trying to work on my own projects. So I determined I need to get that book done as soon as possible. And then I need to focus on getting my ebook done. So the next day, that day I woke up 3 a.m. for my son. Couldn't go back to sleep. Decided to start working on the book where I had started the night before. So normally I fall asleep when I'm working on it, but the night before I didn't. Start working on it at 3 a.m., didn't fall asleep. Got to work on it for a few hours. I finished the text, pushed through, it was like 10 pages, finished the text, and then I had to read all the way back through it. Now it's taken me 10 months essentially, or 8 real months to read through the text in the first place. And now I'm trying to do it all at once. So I'm reading through the text, get up the next morning, taking care of my son. And I was like doing it on my phone too, because I got the Google Docs app. And then I put the phone down and put my son in the crib, pick it up. My phone would not turn on. It wouldn't turn on. I'm trying it. I got on the charger and I was like, I didn't want to go to Apple Store because I needed to work on the book, and we had to go to the Botanical Gardens that day, me and my son and somebody else. So I skipped the Mary Kay meeting because I wasn't going to be able to get back in the event the directions went rogue if I wrote them down or something. So I ended up finishing the book the next morning, like 8:30 a.m. And I had said I was going to go to the meeting after, I was going to go to the Apple Store after I finished the book. So I finished the book. And I told my friend this. I finished the book. I went to the phone. My husband had also tried the phone. I went to the phone and it turned on. It showed low battery, so I had to charge it. But it had been on the charger. My husband had tried it, and it was fully charged in the morning when it stopped working. So to me, that was God saying, you will get this book done. So I got the book done. That's off my plate. Phone starts working. I'm like, okay, I'm in alignment. My steps are being ordered, right? So if that happened for me, then I need to pay attention to the course, the $2,000 course. That means that this is for me. But I had already missed the deadline to sign up for it. But I got, you know how they do. So I got like follow-up emails a couple days later. And I had to realize, if I really believe I'm going to make $75,000 by the end of the year, then $2,000 is not a problem. Like, it's going to come. So I signed up for the CUP course, which is called KBB, or Knowledge Blueprint Business, I think. Knowledge Business Blueprint. And so far, it's a pretty good course. The way I think about it and do the exercises, I'm thinking about me with $75,000. That's my story, though. Like, that's pretty, I mean, I'm a believer. I'm a believer in this process. I really want to be proven right so I can make other people believers. I'm already thinking about how I'm going to use my YouTube videos in that presentation to help people believe in themselves and know that it is not outside of you to achieve success. I'm saying that now because I believe it, but I don't have any proof. And that's what I'm waiting for, the proof, because, you know, we need to be able to qualify the things that we say. So that's why I really want the success, because I want to be able to help other people change their lives. Just think about where I was and the role that these YouTube videos, podcasts, figures, all these people have played in where I am right now. I want to do that for somebody else. Also wanted to add, I listened to a podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience, with a David Goggins on it. Somebody had recommended that person to me because my husband went into books to read and he just wrote a book. So I listened to that podcast, got me trying to get up at 5 a.m. now because he's so hardcore. He's like too hardcore. But I get it. I appreciate it. And then Rick Ross got me not to eat sweets yesterday because of this video I watched. I'll link both of those things. But right now I'm working on discipline. I'm working on being excellent because this work has to get done. It's not going to get done if I'm haphazard about it. So that's where I'm at. I don't know when I'll do my next update, but I'm really hoping my blog is launched and my podcast is launched in the next month, and then we will see what happens from there. The other thing I wanted to say is, as I go through this process and I kind of look at 8 months ago versus today, I think it's really important to understand that a lot of these concepts take time. So even when I'm not excellent with my time management, I'm trying to give myself grace to know that it's going to take more time to develop those skills and those habits. Like, it took me time to get here where I have certainty and I know the process of deciding what's going to be on my plate. It's also just going to take me time to be more excellent. It's going to take other people time, to stop saying negative things about themselves, to stop thinking like an employee, if that's what you want. And one of the things I've learned lately is I have this sense of when I am kind of overloaded on one project, I just switch to another project. Whereas in the fall, when I would get tired of working on something, I would just quit working, or I'd keep working and just drive myself crazy and be stressed out. So those are some things that I've learned. I hope my story resonates with you. I hope you have do you have anything to say to me? Like, do you have any tips? Do you have a law of attraction story? Do you have resources for me? Whatever it is, put it in the comments. If you enjoyed this story, like the video. If you want to see where this story is in 6 months, subscribe to my channel. And until next time, I don't know. I never know what to say. Bye for now.